Oh, hello there, Site 42 staff, as well as those of you from the greater SCP Foundation. And welcome to another Dr. Sherman's Office Hours, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast from Site 42. As always, I am Dr. Theron Sherman, Site Director here at Site 42 of the SCP Foundation. And as I have done for over a year and 2.5 months, and counting, because that's right, the daily stream streak remains strong. I'm here to open my office doors to you, the SCP Foundation staff, to answer your burning questions about this dark and mysterious place of employment we call the SCP Foundation. So whether you have questions about the anomalies we contain, the staff who contain them, the groups of interest who try to stop us from containing them, or hypothetical containment procedures from anomalies that fall outside of the SCP Foundation's purview, perhaps they're from a different multiverse or pataphysical narrative level, i.e., fandom. Either way, we are here for the next 2 hours, maybe 3 if we're feeling particularly zesty. But before we begin today's standard Q&A, let me start with a little bit of housekeeping. First and foremost, intern King of Hell, congratulations on being the #1 most punctual member of today's Containment Hazard Assessment team, i.e., congratulations on being first chatter. Furthermore, Froy, Sleepless Dragon, Puppet Boy, Philip November, Yusavar, Rune, Legendary Doge, Amber, Clover, Aoki, Silent Follower. Everyone who I just named, thank you for being here punctually, and thank you for being here as members of Site 42 on YouTube. We appreciate your membership and your service. Furthermore, interns Opal, Bored as Hell, Nugget, Chaos Insurgency Spy, Lindbergh, Maria, Sillycore, Dog Balancing Rice Cakes on its Head. Interesting moniker. Moss Monster, Random Stuff, Casey, Astro, Site 96, Swaley Fan, See No Evil, and Galaxirion. Welcome to today's stream. Thank you for being here punctually, and thank you for being here just for being you, interns. Now, today's stream is sponsored by SCP Foundation Pride Month 2026's celebration, Pride Fest. Pride Fest is still ongoing on the SCP database. We have made it to the end of the month. We have celebrated Pride Month with the LGBTQIA plus community. And today's Pride Month feature, just to top it off, just to bring it home, people, is a ship in a bottle canon tale between Dr. Kondraki and Dr. Clef and their relationship woes. Bless us, on this day we received another Bottle Dick story. Honestly, I can't believe it took us this long to get a Bottle Dick story into Pride Fest. So there you go. Now, further the more, I do have a little puppy here that wants to say hello to you all. Puppy of Interest 42, codename Charlie. Puppy of Interest 42, codename Charlie here, to say hello to chat as she always does. Because Puppy of Interest 42 is the sweetest pumpkin at Swipe 42, and she lives for the attention of our Containment Hazard Assessment team, i.e. chat. And of course, not only does she live for the adorable attention she gets from you all, she also lives for the delicious treats that she receives on your behalf. That's a very good sweetie pumpkin. The best sweetest pumpkin is I-42. And now be free. Whee! And for my allergies, all right, I am returning to the chat. I will catch up on the donations. And general Q&A after I finish today's stream subject. Desk, good. You got that homophobic, transphobic loser from the chat. Excellent. Love to see us getting rid of the haters in the SCP Foundation. Now, today's stream subject is a dual stream subject. First and foremost, we are still running technical tests to see if we can fix the issues we've been having with our audio on streams. So today's test is we are using the original camera, the one that has the audio sync up issues. But we have fitted it with an upgraded microphone apparatus that plugs into the camera. So we are going to see if we have a problem with the audio today. So you guys in the chat, be sure to let me know if we have the audio sync issue today. Due to the way the microphone attaches to the camera apparatus, I did have to keep us in this more forward-facing, somewhat intimate and sinister briefing window. But I do think that framing-wise, I think we're in good shape. I already see an issue. Intern Tambari, are you saying you're already having an audio sync issue? That would be very unfortunate. That would prove that this microphone did not fix the issue. It also didn't fish the issue. It did not go to the dock and reel in the issue and take it from us. But that is not the only thing we are running a test on today. No. Today, we are also having a pitch. A pitch from me, the site director of Site 42, to you, the Site 42 staff, as well as those of you from the greater SCP Foundation. You see, I received an email today from the YouTube Creator Newsletter, and they let me know that there is a list of summer conventions that YouTube staff will be frequenting. YouTuber networking events, YouTube community manager to creator situations. Now, this sounds like it could be an interesting thing to help out the Site 42 YouTube channel, and by proxy, for me to pass that information on to other SCP content creators if they wish to continue down this SCP YouTube track. I could spread the goodness of the YouTube collaboration with the rest of the community. But there's some ups and downs involved. And I want to workshop this with you. See if this is something you guys are interested in, because If it is, I will need the assistance of our containment hazard assessment team. So, to be clear, the convention in question is known as OpenSauce. I have never heard of OpenSauce convention before, but apparently OpenSauce is a annual tech YouTuber convention. So this is your Mark Robers, your builders, your science people. And so this is a event for YouTubers in the tech space to meet and network. Intern Auric Grace, you're correct. Vsauce Michael is one of those creators who will be in presence, as well as Hank Green. There's a litany of creators involved, of which we will be talking about very soon. Now, reminder, while the SCP Foundation is a secretive, high-tech organization with lots of science and mechanical things happening, on the pataphysical narrative level above us, where my author resides, and who would actually go to that convention, he is an actor and cosplay content creator. So, doesn't really fit in with the tech creator vibe from the outset. That is a point against going to this, is would it be really necessary to network with those kind of YouTubers? Now, the YouTube staff who are there, they would be useful, because that would be people I could talk to about YouTube stuff straight up. But the technical creators, I don't think I'd have a lot to talk about with them. But let's look at the massive creator roster and see who might be useful to have a conversation with in the networking sense. So let me pop this camera around, pick it up very carefully since I have the microphone apparatus on it. So who's going to be present at this convention? So Doug is going to be there. I'm not familiar with Doug very much, but I know he's very popular. I'm sure all these people are very popular. Toxic Bunny, Code Bullet, Strange Parts, Aaron from Game Grumps will be there. Now, in the video gaming space, if we could get people like Aaron or Doug, who are on the gaming side of things, to notice SCP Foundation exists, that might be a starting line for getting them involved in the community. Emily the Engineer, Chic, CNC Kitchen, in Tigza, Sam Meeps, Joseph's Machines. I'll be honest, I don't know any of these creators. Tierzu, I at least know that name. Jukka, Slow-Mo Guys, Stella Chu, Unnecessary Inventions. I only know the name Tierzu, but I got nothing there. Nate Scoville, Explosions and Fire, Brent Underwood, Ted Nivison, Keith Sachs. Again, I don't know these people. Alan Pan, Drake Anthony, Farmcraft, C90 Adventures, Jeff Geerling. See, these are people I'm sure would not actually be super useful for me to talk to in the tech space. Strelkamania, 1000, Thought Emporium, spelled THOUGHT, you see. Ivan Miranda, Nate from the internet, don't know any of them. Astro Alexandra, Luke Laferniere, Juniper Dev. I know Juniper Dev. I follow Juniper Dev's game development content as someone who wants to see more SCP games being made. I actually know this one. Engine Easy, Alpha Phoenix, don't know them. Becky Stern, Sean Hodgins, World by Charlie, Crescent Shay, Cody's Lab, I don't know any of them. Daniel from Corridor Crew. Now this is where we get a little serious. Corridor Crew, while they are a filmmaking group, which makes me want to talk to them, they also have connections with Markiplier. They have also worked with Mark in the past. So that is both a good set of people to get involved with and a link closer, a degree of conversation closer to getting to Mark for an SCP collab. So that's interesting. Real Engineering. Don't know that guy. H. Bomber Guy. Now I'm going to be honest. I don't know if H Bomber Guy would be useful in any sense in an SCP Foundation networking sense, but I just like H Bomber Guy. I would personally just like to meet him to dap him up and say hello. That would just be a personal victory for me. Bobby Dukearts, don't know. Emily Higgins, don't know. There's the rest of Corridor Crew, still useful for Markiplier as well as filmmaking stuff. Joel Creates, Ruth Amos, Illymation. I guess an animation YouTuber can be a useful connection to make. Colin Furzy, don't know you. Mewtrue, Odd J, Scott Manley, Caveman Wildlife. We are like halfway through. This is taking too long. I'm going to back up. If you recognize any of these faces, Captain Disillusion, I think I've heard that name before. Odd One Is Out is going to be there. I know that name. More Corridor Crew staff. I still don't know most of these people. I'm just rolling. Who else do you know? Who else do I? That's a rather cool Freddy Fazbear there, or a Golden Freddy. That's pretty sick. A Nightmare Golden Freddy to be accurate. I am an internet horror content creator. I know the lore. Still don't know a lot of these people. There's Vsauce. I know the name Lily Pichu, but I don't know who or what Lily Pichu is or does. Mark Rober, I follow for interesting science content. Not a useful connection, but would be neat to meet them regardless. Who else do I know of this? Ranboo. I believe the only reason I know who Ranboo is because they were on a episode of a Dropout.tv show. That's where I learned what a Ranboo was. Suffice it to say, oh, and Hank Green is here. I am familiar with Hank. So, here is the situation. Stream subject. Is it worth it for me to go to this convention? Is it worth it for me to go say hello and try to network? Also, my music stopped. It seems like maybe, interesting problem. I will worry about the music and the ambiance fixing after we talk about this. So, Rambo would love SCP stuff and had their own live action series even. Well, that could be interesting. So yes, the situation is, and I'm going to put this in a poll so people can voice there, because I'm saying I don't knows, I'm seeing yeses, I'm seeing no's. But I haven't finished telling you if it's worth it to go yet, or asking. I haven't finished giving you the details on us determining if it's worth it to go. All I've done so far is showed you the creators. So first, I will open the poll once I finish explaining our scenario. So, some of you might know, I have a cover job as a ballroom dance instructor. Some on the higher pataphysical narrative level above us might call that my day job. Because I am not a full-time YouTuber, even though I stream every day. What I am is a part-time YouTuber and a part-time ballroom dance instructor. You might know that my cover job is specifically Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, when we have earlier and shorter streams. Of course, this typically restricts me from going to these kind of events because they are on weekends all the time. So, that is part of the situation. So, if I did want to attend this, the good news is it is literally 2 blocks from the studio I teach at. I could walk from the parking lot of my job to this convention. It is that local. So it'd be very easy for me to attend this as someone who lives in the area. However, if I were to go to all 3 days of this convention, that means I would lose all 3 days of my day job, which means I would have to make that revenue up somewhere because, as I always talk about, the SCP community is an arts community, and oh boy, do we understand starving artists. So, suffice it to say, missing a week of the day job is not great. Doing so the same month that I'm already taking 2 weeks off for the MetroCon trip to go home and see friends and family is not great. But if I were to go to this, looking at the event schedule, even going to this, now, because I used to work for MetroCon, I understand how conventions work. And this convention only has 2-day admission for Saturday and Sunday at a cost of $216 per ticket, not including tax and all that. So $216 for the Saturday Sunday pass, not even including Friday. Because Friday is Industry Day, the day early. To get in a day early before the main event crowds, you need to up that ticket price for the whole weekend to $835. Now, if we wanted to make the most effort of me getting a chance to hobnob with these other creators, since I'm not an invited guest, I'm going as a patron to this event, then at the very least, the industry admission would have to be somewhat useful. Because one thing you get with the industry ticket is you get to go the day early. Because you get to go on Friday when that's not part of the basic plan, it means that there's going to be a lot less people there, which means there's going to be an opportunity to catch the ear of the people you want to talk to more likely. But furthermore, it also means there is a Thursday night networking party. And because I'm local, I will have no trouble attending a Thursday night networking party with all of these people if I were to go. And so going just Saturday, Sunday for $215, not necessarily going to be the most useful attempt. It seems like Friday and Thursday night would be the most likely opportunity to make those connections. What I am considering is trying to go for the industry ticket and maybe only going Thursday and Friday. That way I can still work half my day job Saturday and Sunday. So I skip a Friday, that's 1 day off instead of 3. But then we have to go for the more expensive ticket to get to the quieter Friday industry day and the Thursday night networking party. And so, obviously there could be a choice of going to the full weekend. If we're spending all that money on the industry ticket, it might be rather worth it to go to the whole thing. I would probably do my daily streams for the day from the convention or something like that. Now, the last and final tier, if we decided to be freaking insane, is they have the VIP admission, which is almost $1,600 for all 3 days and the opening party. What do you get for VIP tickets? You get to go to Industry Day. You get to go to the meet and greet on Thursday night. You get backstage creator meet and greets, which means if I get VIP, they have to let me talk to the people one-on-one, or at least small group on one. And so while this is, and if I did pay $1,600 for the VIP experience here, I would have to go all 3 days. I could not work my day job and let that ticket go to waste. Now, there's a bunch of stuff we wouldn't have to go here. Like, I don't care about a VIP stage seating area. I don't care about getting in 1 hour early could be useful to talk to some people. The VIP lounge would be where other people willing to shell that money out would be, which means me having conversations with them would be a useful thing to have in that lounge. I think unlimited shrimp is a joke. At least I hope it is. I hope unlimited shrimp is a joke. Uh, ultimate bot night fight night is not something I would normally go to at a convention, but if it's part of the VIP ticket and probably other VIPs would be there, essentially, if we go that far, this would be me taking the weekend off of work. I would need to make up that money for my day job, and I would need to make enough to cover these tickets. So this is the situation here. And so what our poll here is essentially, what do we aim for here? Because not going at all is an option. I could just skip it, call it my day job. We're saying no to opportunity here, but we're also no risk, no reward. But really, what rewards could there be? If we do think the rewards might be sweet enough, do we do industry admission and I go for Thursday night, Friday, and then work the rest of the weekend? Or do we do the VIP? I take the whole weekend off, and then we need to essentially try to make up the money for the ticket plus the money I'm losing on my day job. I mean, obviously, I can try to pitch in for this myself. I am the one going, but this would be sort of a, hey, Site 42 community and maybe even the greater SCP Foundation. If you think that my duty, my staff's position on the SCP Wiki as an adjunct staff member, whose job is to liaise with businesses to talk about the SCP Foundation, whose job it is to make sure that they're following the proper licensing, or to get them interested in SCP so they make things. Is this worth it? Should we take a shot at this? I would imagine for my day job, what I use to pay my rent out here at California, for my room and my office and things like that, we're looking at an average of between not seven. I do not make $7,000 a weekend. I make about $750 to $1,000 a weekend before tax, and so after tax, it's less than that. But that's about what I'm missing if I skip work. And so if we do that plus industry, we're looking at making, we're looking at needing around $1,500 to $2,000 to merit this trip. If we do VIP for the whole, or no, because I wouldn't be missing the whole weekend, I'd be missing a third. So 2 days of work and 2 days of convention, or we do the VIP, we send me to this, and there's that. And so that ends up being the whole weekend, $750 to $1,000. It's more like $2,500 to $3,000. As the director of Rise of the Pain and Struggle after the event are not worth it, Doctor, or so I believe. Maria Jones, do not fret. I worked for MetroCon for 7 years. I did the shows. Trust me, I am convention trained. I will hit the ground running. I know where to get food. I know where to find the restrooms. The San Mateo Convention Center, I just went there for a lunch break a couple weeks ago because the county fair was in town. So I just went to the county fair for lunch to go get some fair food as a change of pace for my lunch break. It was a nice long 2-hour break because I had some student cancellations. So that was pretty funny. I am now returning to the chat since we have had this conversation. All right, I am. Where the hell is my music? I was going to make a poll, but a poll. When it's POLL, it's still pronounced poll, right? What's up with my Spotify? Can I hear our nice, sweet Billith Slowgramming music? Can we bring back the tunes? Feeling a little awkward in the silence. If you do go say hi to Ranboo for us, maybe. Well, I'll try. Maybe Spotify is just having an outage. Yeah, Spotify's having an outage because all of the playlists I have are gone. So apparently we're living in silence. By the way, could you hear the music while it was on? Just because we're testing this mic. How was my humming? Have we had an audio issue? Audio sync? How have we been doing so far with the new tech? So, create a poll. Should Dr. Sherman ... skip that con, go Thursday night, Friday, for industry, add option, go full weekend VIP. So, here's the deal. The poll does not decide whether I go or not, because that is just what we as a group think might be useful here. Now, I see a lot of people saying, I don't know what the reward is. And there is a situation where we get nothing from this, where I don't inspire any YouTubers who are going to be there to look into the SCP Foundation or to work with them in the future. There could be opportunity to get people interested in it, and since they are people of influence, that interest could trickle down to their fandoms. They could end up creating work for the SCP community because the Creative Commons allows them to do so. And so depending on how sticky they are with copyright, if they're really picky about that, it wouldn't do any good. But it could be useful. What would a successful convention look like for Site42 and SCP? If this were a successful convention, then what would happen is I would find the way to talk to the creators that we as a group triangulate would be useful to talk to as a fandom and cosplay creator myself, but looking to get into the film side of things. So for mechanics, a lot of the mechanical creators, I'd say 80% of the group, not entirely useful to our networking needs. But the YouTube corporate people, we would want to talk to them. Several of the nerdier fandom creators, we would want to talk to try and get them to, I don't know, take an interest in the SCP Foundation. Or, for someone like Corridor Crew, convince them that they should make SCP things and work with me to help me make SCP things in the future. So yes, this is basically... but also there's a chance you could hit up their business emails, Dr. Sherman. Intern Hunter Mark, that's true, but the business email is a much maligned way to get a hold of these people in this way. For this kind of thing, you need more than just a, hello, I am from X YouTube channel. You need to make a personal impression. You need to sell yourself as much as you're selling what you're selling. And a business email with a cold ask is almost always immediately just ignored. Plenty of these people filter their email for cold asks, requests for advertisements, requests for collaborations, all of that. And so it is a thing of going to get in their face, be a charming guy with good ideas. That gives us the opportunity to get an impression that makes them more likely to listen. It's sales. It's sales and marketing. So that is basically, it's a long shot. It is a chance to say hello and see if we can make some influence. Networking really only works via in-person. You are correct, Sheeny. Online emails and stuff like that, that is a lot. There's a huge gamble you're taking here, Dr. Sherman, a very big one. It is. I've been nervous. I got this email when I woke up, and I've been nervous about it all through my leg day at the gym. I was thinking about it because this is a big cost, but also the chance of reward is rather shallow. I mean, it is just throwing your name into the ring, throwing your pretty face out there and saying, hi, I'm Sherman. I run an SCP Foundation YouTuber with 1 million followers now. that does get people to pay attention. When you say, oh, I have 1 million subscribers, people automatically go, huh, okay, there are people interested in this. So that gives us some hitting. But is $200, $835, $1,600 plus worth the gamble and missing so much work and money? Hunter Mark, that is the question at hand. This is the situation where people like motherfucking Mpreg Elon Musk, they are able to throw that money away in an instant. They don't care. But then they can go hobnob, be in the room where it happens, and make their way. Audio sync. Good to know. This did not fix the audio sync issue. We learned something today. How does it sound, by the way? Does the sound quality sound better, despite the fact that the sync still desynced? But suffice it to say, yes, getting in the room where it happened, getting in the faces of people rather than their email inboxes is very valuable. And for the rich, they can take this risk like it's nothing, and then just, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. For us, this is a bigger risk. But the question is, do we want to take it? Are you guys able to help to this? I think somebody already donated to the Ko-Fi as a starting line to make this happen. Because I cannot do this alone, but if enough people were to donate to the cause, I would be our flagship person to go in there and see this gamble through. And I couldn't guarantee anything, of course. You guys could donate enough to send me, and nothing could come of it. Or I could charm the pants off someone important and get us some really interesting stuff. It's up in the air. And so, with all of that on hand, the first thing is I'm going to make this poll. And you guys can now vote on what you think. Who just got here and doesn't know what's going on? Dr. Frogman. The long story short is look at a convention called OpenSauce 2026. OpenSauce 2026 is a convention for technical YouTubers, people who make robots and science experiments and things. But there will be other creators in the animation, film, and gaming space present. People who it might be useful for the SCP Foundation to have a representative hobnobbing with. However, the VIP tickets it would take to make it worth our while are quite expensive, as would it be making me skip my day job for 1 or the full 3 days. And so, as I say here, skip that con means it's not worth it, don't go at all. Go Thursday night to the networking party specifically for networking, and then Friday for the quieter industry day. Could be a good compromise, but that is a $835 ticket on top of missing 1 day of work. Or we do the full weekend VIP, which gives us the most opportunity with backstage meetups to get in the grills of the people we want to talk to. But it does cost $1,600, plus missing a whole weekend of work. So we need to decide how we want to do this, because Thursday, Friday gives us X amount of time of victory. Let's say 33% versus 100%. Because if I were to go for the full weekend, I would go Thursday, Friday, but I would also go Saturday and Sunday and have more access for all 4 days. Versus going to just the first 2 days with less access. It's probably not a good idea to miss a whole weekend of work. It isn't. But there's in those venture capitalist ways, in those rich fucks bourgeoisie manner, no risk, no reward is part of the thing. If we don't take a risk, we don't reap the benefits. And so that is our consideration. There's also, in the back of my head, the gambler's fallacy, the sunk cost fallacy, the one more roll of the dice fallacy, where maybe we take a stab at it, maybe we succeed, we're gambling. 1,600 is literally AEW front row VIP tickets. That's true, Sheeny. That's true for a pretty cool event. So yes, I'm going to look at this poll in a little bit to see where it goes, because it's been up for 3 minutes. About 60 people have voted. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to check Spotify one more time, because I feel very awkward and isolated without music playing. What? That's so much. Zinc Z, yeah. That's because this is a, what's the phrase I'm looking for? This is a YouTuber industry event, and a lot of the YouTubers who are going to this are 100,000 to millionaires. They have bigger channels, they make long form videos that make much better ad revenue than I do with vertical streaming and shorts. Your average CPM, which is cost per 1,000 views on YouTube for a long form video, can be anywhere from $5 to maybe $10 to $20. Sometimes I think CPMs can go up to like 30 if I remember correctly. And so 30 people for every 1,000 views, or $30 for every 1,000 people who view it. When you are doing shorts, your CPM is more like 9 cents per 1,000 views. So it is much less. So this is definitely an industry event for people in a better state than I am. But it is still a thing we can try to fight for if we deem it worthy, and if a lot of people want to help me out on the donation side. And again, if you help me out on the donation side, reminder, I can't promise anything except to give it my damnedest try to woo some people into thinking the SCP Foundation is cool and being a professional contact for future projects. What the hell? What kind of revenue is that? Film in November, the shorts, they get a lot more views, but they also pay a lot less, and it doesn't balance out. All right. So that conversation is our current prospect. The convention itself is in 3 weekends. We have the 4th of July weekend, we have the following weekend, then we have that convention weekend. So we can start thinking about this, and if we want to try, how could us broke people be able to attend? Intern Zinxie, you can't. Broke people cannot go to this convention. That is the average ticket for Saturday, Sunday, the basic ticket where you can just go, is only $215. So $100 a day if you want to go to this convention as a general participant. But going as a general participant doesn't suit my needs as someone going to hobnob with the VIPs to try and get them into SCP or to help us make SCP movies and stuff. So yes, this is us trying to put our heads together and see if it's worth the gamble, and if it's a situation we can even pull off to send me to this thing. I would essentially be y'all's representative at this and see what I could pull off in your name. But all that to say, I will continue to answer questions about that are asked, as well as general Q&A, once I catch up with the donations that came in during our long intro and subject. So, let me start with the YouTube ones. Alki, thank you for sending a star to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I am sure they feel proud to be a 1-star Containment Hazard Assessment team for the time being. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to YouTube Slowgramming, and I'm going to play some Billith music from YouTube since Spotify's broken. That fixes my problem. Do you have playlist, Billith? Primos, experimental visualizations, SCP music videos and themes. I will do the SCP playlist. Beautiful. spooky SCP music by friend of the channel Billith, aka the experimental music program Slowgramming, available on YouTube, SoundCloud, and sometimes Spotify, but not today. Hopefully that clears the audio sync. Film November, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself a chicken de China, the Chinese chicken, on your way past the commissary. Last day, Doctor, me sad. Last day of what, Philip November? What is this your last day of? Curious. Ace of Luck, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself some fried chicken and waffles on your way past the commissary. If by some magical bullcrap 055 breach of containment, how would we know what to actually look for? It's like a police search by a blind guy. That would be very unfortunate, which is why it's a good thing that there is no 055 with which to be breaching containment. Very good news that we don't have to worry about such a thing. You are correct, Philip November. Today is the last day of Pride. But that does not matter because the LGBTQIA community stays strong regardless of the month. They still deserve love, peace, and happiness despite the month of the year. Stoop Girl, thank you for sending sparkles to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I am sure they will enjoy cleaning up yet another glittered bomb. Intern Rain, thank you for sending 8 stars to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. You've awarded them a prestige rank, and also you've got them up to a 4-star team. They are only 1 star away from a 5-star Containment Hazard Assessment team. You're so close. Intern Torres, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a Diet Cola on your way past the commissary. Hey Doc, heard you like the Dresden Files. That I in fact do. I love them, been reading them since 2012, 2013. Hey, same as me. In fact, that's when I started reading them and also started running a tabletop role-playing game for the Dresden Files. They have books for those. They're very good. If you haven't seen them, give them a try. Not sponsored, I just think they're neat. Have you read Tommyknockers by Stephen King? If so, what would be your containment strategy? I have not. I actually have never read a Stephen King book. I have seen The Shining, but that's about it. Pumpkin Man, thank you for sending 5 stars to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. They have claimed another rank of prestige, but they are still a 4-star team. Sheeny, thank you for your 14 months as a Mobile Task Force Captain here at Site 42. We appreciate your membership and your service. Como están, homies? So far, so good. Just having a mild panic attack at this last-minute event next door to my work that I'm considering going to see if on the off chance I could network my way into some cool professional relationship with other YouTubers. Intern Gousset, thank you for sending a litany of stars, a plethora of stars, a barrel full of stars to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. You ended up sending them 51 stars, which gave them 10 prestige ranks and made them a 5-star chat. Congratulations. Very good. Philip November, thank you for donating again to say, the first time I heard of H-Bomber Guy was when he made an expose on Illuminati. Oh, that scenario, that was crazy. I have been following H-Bomb for a lot of years. I was following during the early videos where it was fighting against Reddit anti-wokers. That's how long I've been following H-Bomber Guy. If you're a Patreon patron of H-Bomber Guy, which I am, then I highly recommend the video on the game Myst. That was never released out of the Patreon, but top-notch Myst video if you're a Myst gamer. And then on top of which, the updates, the constant updates of the anti-Adobe's business practices video that H-Bomb has been working on for like a year? Oh my gosh. Being in the creative space and having to deal with Adobe. Oh, I can't wait for H-Bomb to smite them from orbit. Intern Ash, thank you for sending a press F to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they will appreciate and pay respects. Rebel Commander, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself some blue milk on your way past the commissary. They say you regret what you did not do more than what you did do. I say you go. You will Yuna regret not going more, or will you regret missing more work? Go VIP. Yeah, they do say you miss every shot you don't take, which is, I'm not a very risk averse person. I am in fact a risk taker. I've actually gotten more risk averse with age. I've gotten a little smarter about taking risks and not going fucking crazy out there. But, I still am an artist doing teaching dance and doing YouTube instead of getting a safe job. So, you could see a little risk there. That said, yeah, no, I'm kind of leaning to try to go at least at the industry level, the mid level as a compromise. Miss one day of work and try to do what I can. If we could rally the group to make that $2,500 it would take for me to not miss work, or even just the ticket price, and I'll just eat it. I mean, who knows if it'll succeed, but you don't succeed if you never try. That's the fucking thing. It's you gotta pull the slot machine. Thoughts. Zinc Z, thank you for sending a star to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. You have made them a 1-star team again, but they did gain a prestige rank. Phil November, thank you for sending sparkles. I'm sure the chat would love to clean up another glitter bomb. Jollied Rancher, thank you for sending a star to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. They are now a 2-star ranked Containment Hazard Assessment team for the time being. Ace of Luck, thank you for donating again to say, long live the LGBTQBBC barbecue YMCA CTV plus. So, yeah, every letter deserves to be happy, except for the haters. The haters don't deserve to be happy. Dr. Frogman, thank you for sending a doubloon to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. However, I don't actually see it in the GIFs. I actually only see it in the chat. Chat, there you go. Okay, now you're showing me everything finally. Thank you for refreshing. Amber, thank you for sending a floating heart to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I am sure they feel the love. Let me hop over to the Ko-Fi. I saw some donations over there. Sheedy, thank you for your incredibly generous Ko-Fi donation. Thank you for the making the effort to go to the Ko-Fi, which, as we know, only takes 3% of your donation as a service charge, while YouTube Super Chats take 30% of everything you send. Especially if you use iPhone, then Apple takes 30%. And then YouTube takes another 30%. So, especially going to the Ko-Fi, we especially appreciate you using that to make your donation go further. Because yeesh, Apple gets a cut and YouTube gets a cut if you use an iPhone to make your donation. Sheeny, thank you for your incredibly generous donation. If I am able to go to this event, which you have now, I assume you are donating such a generous amount in the idea of me doing so, then I will fist bump the creator of your choosing, one way or another, at that convention. Or if I fail, I will wear the failure hat for the stream that follows the weekend, or the 2 days that I'm there. We'll see what happens. Why did I just agree to a failure hat? I don't have a failure hat. I'm gonna need a failure hat? This is what I get for riffing. Fucking improv actors. The worst. I'll have to find a failure hat. Furthermore, back to that Ko-Fi. So you said if you need funds, I got it. If I got it, you got to hit me up. Well, thank you, Sheeny, for your step in the right direction of this process. Buy a dunce cap. It's the same thing. Well, I can make a dunce cap out of paper. Those are you can make a cone. That could be a failure hat. That in fact, I would say that is the example of a failure hat. So I will need to wear a dunce cap if I fail to successfully fist bump the creator of Sheeny's choosing if I do get to go. Intern Hunter Mark, thank you for donating again. No, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as going through the Ko-Fi. Grab yourself a Mountain Dew on your way past the commissary. Take it easy, Dr. Sherman. Don't run yourself ragged. Chat really cares about you and desk. Have you ever known me to take it easy? That is the one thing I cannot commit to. I take it easy if I'm sick. I take it easy if I have time to recover. We've done the ankle rehab and it's gone well. But now, especially that I'm starting to be able to walk again, oh, buddy, we're hitting the ground running, but softly and with tact, like a parkour person, so we don't re-injure ourselves. Kakiro, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Thank you for making the effort to go through the Ko-Fi as well. Grab yourself a corned beef and cabbage on your way past the commissary. Just hope this helps every little bit, right, boss? That's the philosophy. If you guys are willing to pitch in on this to help me make this happen, I will be your representative in the place. I will make this happen on you guys' behalf, and then we will see what I can fish out. It won't be easy, but we got to take our shot. For unrelated reasons, what hat size do you wear, boss? I do not know my hat size. I imagine as a tall person, I have a large size head. Maybe I'm a large size hat. Will you live stream if you decide to go there for real? Intern Gamers Against Weed, yes. If I am going to that thing, I would still not miss the daily live stream. In fact, recording and streaming is encouraged on the website. Now, will there be reception for cellular streaming? It'll probably be pretty bad, like it is often when I'm in the field. But we will still do something in the field. Intern Stargazer, or Siren, thank you for sending a doubloon to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they will spend it wisely. What was that? Intern Hunter Mark, thank you for donating again to say, take it easy or else I will throw my DC funds at you. Listen, a hard rule at Site 42. Never donate more than you can afford. You got to take care of yourself, man. If this were something like, oh my god, I need surgery, that would be one thing. But this is an optional, risky gamble. Now, if I were some sort of crypto influencer, if I were a terrible person, I would say, yo guys, this is the thing. You gotta donate now. Donate all your money, all of it. It doesn't matter. Take out a loan to donate. It'll be great. I guarantee we'll have an SCP movie because I'll talk to all those YouTubers and they'll love me because I'm great and I'm so bro and everyone's gonna love it. We're not going that way. I'm being honest that this is a risky proposal and it might not pay off. But being a good person is better than being a douche bro. We are not the douche bro foundation. The DB Foundation is not my favorite foundation. No, intern Marker Muncher. There is no Sherman coin. There will not be a Sherman coin. There is no Sherman coin. There has never been one. There will never be one. There is no time travel shenanigans bringing you the Sherman coin. Also, long time no see, Marker Muncher. Hope you've been doing well. How about the Sherman coin? Intern Zinksy. Way to go back into the English naming conventions to remember that the name Sherman is the name of the man who shears the sheep. That's a deep cut name meaning understander commentary there. But no, there will be no sheep shear man coin either. Amber, thank you for donating to the Ko-Fi for your first donation of the day, as well as being a member. Grab yourself some Pop Rocks on the way past the commissary, and thank you. You said Science Point to go. No, no risk, no reward. Am I right? I appreciate it if you are able to donate to this cause, because right now, at the very least, oh my god, it is a 41% to 41% even split for Go Industry Night and for the industry ticket, or to go for the full VIP. It is neck and neck to go for the whole thing. Now, I will tell you, if I go for the full weekend, my students will be sad, because a lot of them, the dancing is their social life. But I've also been teaching a lot of them for 10 years, so if I miss an extra week of work, it's not the end of the world. They will survive if I take a week off of dancing. I am told they will not perish. Siren, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a blueberry muffin on your way past the commissary. Question, Site 42 merch ideas? Because I got a few. If you got a few ideas, you can pitch them to my business email. The I see no gender, only victims, because SCP-076-2, codename Abel, is our non-binary, asexual royalty, is available at the links that are in the YouTube shopping shelf there, because the sticker for this and the shirt for this is available. Can they get a substitute? Interesting fact. I don't teach my dance job at a ballroom dance school. I actually teach at a fitness studio that I rent. And so that grants me a lot of freedom. It also means there are no substitute teachers. But also, I mean, consider this. Is there really a substitute for me in the first place? I did just win Best of the Bay dance school, and that was just one guy renting space. I'm not even a real dance school. So there's no substitute for me. Let's just get it right. But actually, there is no substitute dance teacher, unfortunately. So that's not a thing. If I'm out, they're out for the time. It's very unfortunate. I've been wondering to get an apprentice, so there is someone to replace me if I want to travel. Fablebox, thank you for sending a 100 to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I am sure they will keep it 100 at your urging. Ace of Luck, thank you for donating again to say SCP-72. Whoa! Oh my god. That's Jay. Ow. Coin. And I thought crypto couldn't get any more abhorrent. Disgusting. Disgusting. I don't know. Thank you for sending sparkles to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I am sure they will enjoy cleaning up yet another glitter bomb. Juking means to, like, catch someone off guard by circling them and quickly making them turn. Chip Kid, juking is also Or desk, I guess, since we're explaining this to desk. This is also a football. You juke someone, you fake them. So I run like I'm going to the right, and then I juke them, and I go left. Oh, no. Undo what I just did. Undo what I just did. While I fail and come back from failure, by the way, how does the music sound on this microphone? Can you hear it? We haven't had that going in a while. How does the music sound on the nice, fancier microphone? You can do that in most free field sports. You're correct, Frogman. You can juke in most free field sports. I only thought football because I am a American football watcher from youth. So that's the first thing that came to my mind. But yes, most sports where you can freely move around, non-American football, basketball, etc., are also juking sports. Sheeny, thank you for another generous donation. Nothing lost, nothing gained, Dr. Sherman, or Sherm, casually. I may not have all of it, but I'm willing to throw in, may others follow my lead. I appreciate your generosity. I am doing the mental math as we speak, as we try to shore up the ability to do this. Because I am basically like 75% on the side of going to at least the industry day. That means I lose about $300 to $500 of work, not the full weekend, but I also have to spend the $835 for the ticket. So we need to keep fundraising for this if we're going to do it. I really need to do what I did for the, what's the thing? If we're going to do this proper, I might need to set up a GoFundMe like we did for the SCP Play filmings that I did, where I brought Entropy, Toad King, and Radiger to go see the plays. That way, all the proper funds are in the right space, so I can keep track of what's a donation to that versus a super or something like that. I'll have to mark down those Ko-Fis so they are part of it. So thank you guys. I will make the accounting make sense there. So much of production is just the numbers and the accounting. And I never used to be good at that. I had to get good at that real quick. I don't know. Thank you for sending Glitter Bomb to the chat. I'm sure they'll enjoy cleaning that up again. Wait, isn't this the SCP guy? You are correct, Intern Hollowglass. I am, in fact, John SCP. But you can call me Dr. Theron Sherman, Site Director of Site 42 of the SCP Foundation. SCP Redacted. Shermcoin, an anomalous cryptocurrency. Its worth is based on Dr. Theron Sherman's stress levels. Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. You guys annoy me for sport. Now you're gonna make it financially viable as a life path? No! I refuse! You can't make me! That shit's gonna go to the moon so fast. Say hello to the moon wizard while you're there. Okay. Intern GG. Thank you for sending a star to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. You have upranked them to a 3-star chat. Good work. Time check. Puppet Boy, we have been live for 70 minutes. I said we're going for 2 hours today, maybe 3. So right now we're in the hour 1 is over. We're moving into hour 2. Are all Mikus are canon? Does that mean my Tamagotchi Life Miku is canon? Yes, intern Alien Mint. Due to the all Miku is canon phenomena, your Tamagotchi Life Miku is canon. What is the most gross SCP in your opinion? Intern Snyder. I would point you at SCP-3307, codename Cornucopias. Cornucopias is an SCP Foundation agent who got abducted by aliens. And the aliens gave that agent the ability to spawn people's favorite foods from every orifice of his body. So if your favorite food is Snickers bars, the agent might shit a Snickers bar. If your favorite drink is Diet Coke, it might dispense out of his nose. It's disgusting. SCP-3307 is definitely one of the grossest anomalies. Please practice proper protocols of the Foundation. I mean, Carl was one of us before becoming anomalous. I guess you're right. I guess Carl has been anomalous long enough to be in it. Ba 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 ba. Intern Hunter Mark, thank you for donating again through the Ko-Fi to say. Hey again, Dr. Sherman. I'm doing my very first animation at the moment. Ooh, very nice. Animating, very good. Love to see it. So I'll try my best to upload it for Fan Art Friday if it's done by then. But I have band camp and a trip to DC to march in the parade for the 250th US birthday. Well, I hope you have fun with your band and play well. Despite the terrible things that the Republican Party is doing to this country at the behest of that absolute asshat, SCP-5004-B, this country can and will be saved by the smarter and saner among us, one way or another. Sheeny, thank you for another ridiculously generous donation to the Ko-Fi. As for the fist bumps, don't worry about that too much. We out here for the community. If you do what you can for the community, and we'll go for here. Well, thank you for telling me not to worry about it, but because I did say it out loud on stream, uh, I'm sure Desk and Agent Goose and the rest of the Containment Hazard Assessment team are going to hold me to that. So please, if you have mercy in your heart, Sheeny, pick a creator that I am more likely to see and or interact with. Perhaps Aaron from Game Grumps, who is also a Florida native like myself, I believe, another Florida man, and or H-Bomb, who are more casual creators who I might be able to fist bump successfully. Fingers crossed. But yes, as we continue to try and fund this endeavor together as a community, if you guys are sending me this, you know I'm going to do what I can to pitch the SCP Foundation to people, at the very least get them interested, or at my best, try to get them to be future collaborators for Site-42 and other SCP film production crews in the networking. The more of these big YouTubers we can get interested in SCP, the more likely we are to be able to make crossover content and or get them to make SCP movies. It's Creative Commons. They wouldn't have to worry about the licensing. It's great. I dare you to do the 173 pose against a wall there. Just Pit. If you really want to paint me like one of your French girls, that's a $50 dono. I will do it for a $50 dono. There you go. I will stand against this wall in the 173 pose. You're ridiculous. Y'all, Sheeny especially, Amber, y'all got me I am not throwing away my shot with your generosity today. Pick someone insane so Dr. Sherman can wear the failure hat. Dr. Frogman, you monster, you're conspiring against me. You. I'm gonna put in a bad word with Wigglebert the Great. Just you wait. Artist Rain, thank you for sending 6 stars to the Containment Hazard Assessment Team. They've gained another prestige rank, and they are now a 4-star Containment Hazard Assessment Team. Zachary, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, intern Zachary. Grab yourself a chocolate cupcake on your way past the commissary. Hello, Dr. Sherman. We need security and maintenance in Office Complex 2. Steve brought that thing in. Oh, no, Steve. Steve, why? Why is this what you do with your time? You said Office Complex 2 had it coming? What do they do? Oh. Oh. Yeah. It sounds like y'all had it coming from Steve's perspective. Y'all might need to clean up your act. Intern Hunter Mark, thank you for donating again to say. Speaking of 5004-B, oh, dear God, I hate talking about SCP 5004-B. He demanded my entire marching band switch sock brands because they were too short. The socks. Can't clean up a reflecting pool. But sure, the socks are the problem. And I personally have gripe against SCP 5004-B because the price of my health insurance nearly doubled after the bullshit they pulled. And besides the Iran war being terrible on its own merit and killing people is bad, probably, the amount I've had to pay for gas is also annoying. So, personal gripe. No politics, please. Sorry, intern Brando. The Site 42 brand does involve politics. I mean, we do celebrate Pride Month, which is forced to be political because of those hateful bigots in the Republican Party. So I will take every opportunity with the platform I am given by you guys to crush them with my words and to inspire people to fight back against their hate and tyranny. All art is political, and you will not get me to stop talking about politics. Either you're going to have to learn to live with it or find a different channel to watch. I don't apologize. The failure of Plus Sherman. You're right, intern Tambari. SCP 5004-B also cost me the second Dr. Sherman plushie. Bastard. Intern Torres, thank you for donating again to say. Doc, don't worry, I'm on my way to Office Complex 2. Well, be careful, you know what's over there. I can swear, right? Intern Skylar, yes, swearing is allowed. The SCP Foundation is an adult community. Remember, you do have to be 18 or older to join the SCP community, and that includes the Site 42 Discord server, which, while unaffiliated with the SCP Wiki officially, is a SCP community space and follows its rules because there's adult content on the SCP Wiki. There is graphic sexuality. There is graphic violence. So you need to be 18 or older to join the community. If you are a child here, please make sure that you have parental permission to be watching. This is essentially a rated R movie. Artist Rain, thank you for sending 9 stars to the Containment Hazard Assessment Team. So that's +4. You made them a 3-star team with another 2 prestige ranks. Congratulations, Containment Hazard Assessment Team. 19 chord actually is only 17 plus until 2027, then it will be 18 plus. Make sure this change is known. Yes, intern Brando, the 18 or plus rule did get grandfathered up, so the age is growing every year until it reaches the age of majority. So yes, it's not yet 18 for the official SCB Foundation Discord, but we jumped the gun and said 18 plus. We just kept it simpler for Site 42. What's that? Artist Rain sent another star, making it a 4-star team again. Very nice of you, Artist Rain. Those 6 stars you sent brought them back to a 5-star team. A 5-star team and another prestige rank. Congratulations, chat. He just read my message. I could see it in his face. Let me recite to you. Current failure hat plan. You gotta cover your head in mayo and sour cream. Dr. Sherman in the back channels. Channeling SCP-3043. No, fuck, no, no way. I am not putting a tarp in my recording booth. Fuck you. It was the only proper response. Siren, thank you for donating again to say, no, wait. I will say yours in a moment, Siren. Dr. Frogman, that is not Murphy Law. SCP-3043 is a 1967 Olympia Elite typewriter that Murphy Law stole the story of. Get it right or pay the price. 3043 is the first instance of Murphy Law showing up, but Murphy Law itself, whatever, is SCP-3143. Actually. Artist Rain, thank you for sending another singular star. That is a 1-star Containment Hazard Assessment Team with a prestige rank. Zachary, thank you for donating again to say, well, tell Steve when he stops trying to use the computers to date SCP-1471, we'll reinstate his access. Steven, have you been trying to fraternize with the anomalies? Yeah, you better not have. Oh, you fill me on if Steve is lying. And I saw a Ko-Fi notification. Let me grab that real quick. Sheeny, thank you for your intense generosity today. My word, you are single-handedly making this thing a reality. I appreciate your extreme generosity today. Thank you for doing what you can to help out in the name of those that cannot. There's a lot of broke gang out there, but as a community, we are able to rally and make things like this happen. Also, you said, if it's a thing, then definitely Aaron. I feel like he'd be down. Okay, you've marked Aaron from Game Grumps. I need to fist bump Aaron from Game Grumps. I might not be able to get video footage from the con, but if I can get video of the fist bump, I will try. Also, Dr. Sherman for guest grumps. But seriously, I'm just here for the base opportunity. Backroom's got it shot. SCP needs next. You're damn right. We will have an SCP movie one way or another. We will catch up with the Backrooms and surpass them because there are more stories to be had. More films to be making. The SCP community will get it shot. I will be one bit of the drill which will pierce the heavens. We will all work together on this. Who's Game Grumps anyway? And Gameaverse reference Aaron is a VA and Ross is the creator. For Just Pitt and Don Brando, yes. This convention we're talking about in the poll, in the chat, to go to a local convention, it is a YouTuber tech meetup convention. And Aaron from Game Grumps is going to be in attendance. That is what this conversation is about. Dr. Sherman sure does love a Gurren Lagann reference. You're damn right I do, Dr. Frogman. Intern GG, thank you for sending a star to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. You just made them a 2-star Containment Hazard Assessment team. They're back on their way to 5-star. Love your hair color. Well, thank you, intern Samantha. I appreciate it. We're trying to be fashionable here at Site 42. It improves morale. What do you think of SCP-372? Intern Snyder, I'm not familiar with it off the top of my head, but I could take a look-see, and see what I find. 372, you say? That is the peripheral jumper. I find the entity to be quite annoying. Thankfully, it hasn't gotten in my peripheral vision. Siren! Siren, I'm so sorry. Thank you for donating again to remind me that I got distracted from your previous super chat because someone said something I literally had to answer in the moment. So thank you. I'm sorry. Thank you for donating again to get me to pay the fuck attention. I'm hopefully going to OpenSauce in 2 weeks. Just a factory. You're hopefully going to OpenSauce? That's what we're talking about trying to send me to. With the industry or VIP ticket. That way I can get some FaceTime with all the bigger creators. That way I can try to convince them that the SCP Foundation is cool and they should make SCP content or team up with us to make SCP movies and stuff. You're hopefully going? Are you traveling or are you just local to the area? Does Chesta Factory literally live next to me? I'll probably be going as a presenter as well. Chesta Factory, what do you do? Who are you? Traveling. I mean, you don't have to reveal yourself. Obviously. I'm kidding. That's just... You're going to be presenting at the con. That's pretty cool. If I am there, then I will see you. As I told chat earlier, my day job is literally a couple blocks from the venue for the convention. You'll be going with Hack Club. Oh, very nice, Chesta Factory. That is frickin' neat. All right, wait. So, Siren, I gotta fucking answer you now. Pardon my French. I'm not gonna get distracted again. Was in the digital circus hanging out with my partners Zor, and Kane is free roaming the site's servers. He might drift through your monitor, so heads up. Didn't they kill that guy? I don't watch that show. Didn't they kill that guy? I really need to catch up on that. I watched like one episode. I didn't hate it, it's just I'm busy. Yo, what does SCP stand for? Intern Ibrahim. The SCP Foundation. SCP originally stood for Secure, Contain, Protect. No, it didn't. I just got that backwards. Damn it. SCP originally stood for Special Containment Procedures. And people started calling us the SCP Foundation, even if that was not our name. Technically speaking, in the world of the SCP Foundation lore, we're just called the Foundation. Did you know that? It's not the SCP Foundation. It's just the Foundation. But the SCP Foundation is catchier, and it doesn't blend in with all the dramatic the Foundations that always show up in conspiracy and science fiction lore. So SCP Foundation does stick a little bit better. But over time, SCP did also come to mean Secure, Contain, Protect as a rather informal motto. Intern Willis, thank you for sending a first donation of today's stream. Grab yourself a plate of chicken wings on your way past the commissary. What do you think of Omega 1? Omega 1, are you talking about the mobile task force, I assume? And when you're talking about the mobile task force, why is that happening? Why are you what? I guess I reached the end of the playlist, and that is no longer. No, it looks like whoever made this playlist of Slowgramming music accidentally added "We Got Drunk and Watched Mean Girls" 2004 featuring Lindsay Lohan into the playlist of music. How peculiar. Does Spotify work yet? So we don't have random got drunk and watched Lindsay Lohan movies videos in my music playlist? That's not really the... Nope, no Spotify yet. I guess we're going back and hoping against hope that we don't get another Lindsay Lohan drunk watch movie. What was I even talking about? Today's a very hectic and distracted stream. Omega 1. I was talking about Omega 1. So, that is that red right hand? That's Alpha 1. What's Omega 1? Law's left hand, Ethics Committee. Well, just like the red right hand, they are stick up their butt professionals who would not participate in a hot dog eating contest. Super lame. But overall, I don't have much of an opinion on most of the mobile task forces, except for, dear God, Ethics Committee, I didn't do anything. Don't come after me. I'm pretty new here. Could you tell me a bit about yourself? Because I want to know so I don't get anything wrong. Intern Skylar. Talking about myself in such a way, I'm not certain what you would want to know. If you have any particular requests, then you can ask questions. Is Spotify just taking a while to load for you or not playing? Just a factory. Spotify, when I bring up the app, all of the songs are grayed out, and they say cannot play this content. This is on every playlist I have made. So it seems like Spotify is completely glitching. Yeah, this content is not available on every song. I saw a notification for Ko-Fi. Let me get that real quick. Intern Eli ND, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as making the effort to go through the Ko-Fi, which only takes 3% of your donation as a service charge, while YouTube takes 30% of every super chat. And if you use an iPhone, then Apple takes another 30%. So we definitely appreciate you using the Ko-Fi whenever possible, especially for bigger donations. And you sent an extremely generous donation. So thank you for that. Extravagantly so, especially when we are trying to make our way to this weird convention that just popped up on my radar, where we could meet very cool YouTubers and try to get them SCP pilled. Super cool pilled, if you say it like that. Grab yourself. I want you to go into the storage shed behind the east wing. There's a numerical code there. I want you to enter the code 4224, and inside you will find a jug with 5 X's on it. This is some magic mushroom moonshine that I got from the people who live in a certain forest that shall remain nameless. The bottle's yours. I keep it just in case someone requires such a generous gift. So thank you for your generosity, intern Endy. Now, what did you say with your generosity here? You said you'd 173 pose. Okay. Okay. Give me just one moment, I guess. I'll come over here. I'll make it nice. And I'll plug this in. Let there be light. And I will aim this over here. This is part and parcel of the studio build for TikTok videos that we're trying to build a set. And I'm over here. Looking pretty sharp, I think. And so I just gotta... Is this what you wanted? Is this what you signed up for? Baby, this is what you came for? Lightning strikes every time you blink and it moves? And everybody's watching it because it's breaking your neck. Have I stood against the wall long enough? Is this correct? This is what you all signed up for? The riveting content? Yes, Puppy of Interest 42. We're having fun, right? We're good? This is the pose. Fan Art Friday submissions are going to look very familiar. Oh no. Oh no, is that all we're going to get? Dr. Sherman looked ready for a public shaming. That is what it felt like. That is what I felt like over there. Yes. All right, get back into where I can... Dr. Sherman will not be pooping his britches. This is a bit. You are correct. I did not shit or bleed while I was over there. That is true. I was not told to shit and or bleed. I was just told to stand in the pose. I will have that known. That was not part of the deal. Puppy of Interest 42 came over. She wants to say hello again. Hello, sweetie baby. Here's the treat for the happy baby. We had statue pose time, and now we have puppy time. All right. First, let me get this camera back in a suitable position. So we bend that, we pull this back, and then the camera sits. And it doesn't collapse horribly. It's still sinking. Oh, that's because it almost came unglued from here. That's part of the problem. I hope the 173 standing statue joke was worth it for all this effort we're having to go through to refix the camera. I hope you're happy. I hope you're happy now. Stay. Good camera. All right, let me catch up on everything that happened while I was gone. Now, Sassy, give us Sassy. You're a sassy little statue. Intern Smith. Why are you Austin Powersing photographing me? Yes, you're a tiger! Gah! Go it! Smoke it! Yes! Yes! No! 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 Yes! Intern Andy, thank you for the endless entertainment you just gave the chat. Sheeny, thank you for donating to the Ko-Fi again to say, make sure they don't bogart the shroom shine. Hey, it's not bogarting if I gave it to them. It's not bogarting if I gave it to them. But listen, you know I have a source. You know I have a source to get the good stuff. This was legendary. Thank you for 173 maxing. Oh no. What do you mean 173 maxing? Who wants to explain Bottle Dick to the unaware people? Why are we talking about Bottle Dick again? How did that get back to the conversation? We mentioned it at the start of stream. Is it what? Okay, well, to be clear, Bottle Dick is a canon on the SCP Foundation website that was created because SCP author The Friendly Vandal made a fun fan fiction about Doctors Kondraki and Clef dating. And because Dr. Clef is asexual, Dr. Kondraki got sexually frustrated and stuck his penis into an Aquafina water bottle. It got stuck, and thus the term Bottle Dick was born. After this story was written, and it was just a little bit funny, just a funny thing someone wrote, someone on Tumblr got really, really mad and homophobic and started harassing the author. At which point, the OG author, Dr. Clef, creator of the Dr. Clef character, specifically the hater was saying, oh, Clef would never be gay. So then OG Clef wrote a sequel tale where it was even gayer. And then the rest of the SCP Wiki community, who saw that this was going on in the name of spite, wrote several more stories. And so now Ship in a Bottle is the proper name, the polite society name, for what we all know to be Bottle Dick. And Bottle Dick is several stories about the relationship and the fallout of the Bottle Dick incident. They are often quite funny, down-to-earth, office comedy style stories. They are actually quite good as well. The SCP community turns out pretty good writers. All right, intern Skylar, you are asking questions because you wanted to know more about me as a new person in the Site42 community. You are saying, if you are okay telling me, where do you live? While not doxing myself, I do live in the San Francisco Bay Area. I live in the San Francisco Bay Area. That is where Site42 is situated. Do you know Hamilton? Yes, I am quite familiar with Hamilton. In fact, the chat donated gifted memberships one time to make me sing the entirety of The Room Where It Happens as the credit song one day. It was very difficult to one-man show that song, it turns out. I don't really know fun facts or something kind of stupid as fuck, so I don't know what to say. Well, if you have more questions, more information you have, you can ask. Otherwise, fun fact, my cover job, as in my day job for my author on the pataphysical narrative level above us, is a ballroom dance instructor. Very fancy dancing. Can we get time? Gamers Against Weed, the time check. We are currently an hour and 45 minutes into this stream. I said we'd go for 2 to 3 hours. I think we will go a little more than 2 hours today. Did the poll disappear? No, the poll disappeared from my screen, but I can still see it here. So it's 39% for the Thursday, Friday only, and then full weekend VIP crazy style is at 37%. So it's erring toward the smaller risk situation. Intern Zachary, thank you for donating twice more to say first, hey, Dr. Sherman, have you read SCP-1990-EX-ARC? It's absurd and allegedly used to be on the wiki, now an archive. Also, unrelated, TB tests hurt. Well, I hope you're okay, both in your test and recovering from the test. I don't know what 1990-EX-ARC is. ARC denotes articles that have been deleted, but are kept around for some reason. What's the deal with 1990 EX ARC? Archive of deleted SCPs and tales. This is pretty long, so I'm not going to run through this whole thing now, but Intern Zachary, do you want to tell me what the plot synopsis here? Let me know what the dealio is. Anyone voting for full weekend needs to throw something in TBH. Of course, Sheeny. As we said, this is a group effort to get me to be our representative at this YouTuber convention that's very expensive. And to skip a weekend of my day job to do it. So any donations going toward that, especially if it's going toward the bigger tier, is helpful. And then intern Zachary said, Dr. Sherman is sending an article on 1990-EX-ARC to your terminal. Okay, I got it here. Can you tell me more about it? Oh. Desk, you're telling me this is about Waco Cult. Oh, boy. Oh, SCP 1990-EX-ARC. So ARC means it is not a canon SCP anymore. For reasons. Is about the Waco situation. Yeesh. The what cult? Waco. W-A-C-O. Yeah, wasn't that a standoff with federal officers? The Waco Massacre, yes. A siege by U.S. federal government and Texas state law enforcement individuals on a compound belonging to the religious cult known as the Branch Davidians. So yeah, a weird cult, and the feds getting real gun happy. Yeah, the Waco, Texas cult situation is pretty famous. I've heard of it. I've never looked into it that deep. The plot of 1990-EX-ARC is just the Waco siege, but anomalous. That makes sense. Wacky Clown, what's the Waco situation? I would suggest looking that up online. That's a pretty deep and dark subject, which we deal with in the SCP Foundation, but this one's a little more real life. Siren, thank you for donating again to say. Kane says D-Class are allowed to enter the circus for safekeeping, and we sent the headset to Site-42. Also, my kids Rosalind and Zion say hi. Well, hello to your kids, Siren, but no, we're not giving Kane D-Class. We are plenty good at keeping track of them. So, we're not gifting them to Kane to use as it wants. Intern Giggle and Mendez Cab. Welcome to Site-42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. My username is Angelica Schuyler. I love Hamilton a lot. Once I get the money from my stupid 9 to 5, I'm making you sing. Wait for it, must get Burr songs down. Interesting, Schuyler. Well, if you do that, then we will figure out a way to make that happen. Does the Foundation have a dress code similar to other science facilities? Intern Hadahi, we obviously follow safety protocols, proper lab coats, eyewear, stuff like that. But, I mean, we're here every day. We don't get a lot of time off. So for morale, I loosen the dress code when it comes to coloration as long as it does not interfere with your project. Intern Firefly Lily, thank you for sending sparkles to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I am sure they appreciate having to clean up yet another glitter bomb. Is there a Lego SCP? Intern Printing Boss, there is in fact a Lego SCP. That would happen to be called the Living Legos. SCP. No, I accidentally typed living legs. That's a different scenario. 387 Living Legos. SCP-387 is some living Lego sets. They build their own things. They have their own SCP Foundation site in miniature. Guys, I need an answer. Did the tree ever scream? I haven't kept check. Intern 4 of SCP-4521 has screamed once. It was at the behest of a test with that abomination, which we all knew that was going to work. That's why I suggested the test, even though they did it while I was out of town, like a bunch of douchebags. Couldn't let me have the glory. But at least it did scream. Now we are trying to find ways to make it scream still that are less broken, because that abomination was always going to make it scream. It's too OP and terrible. Wacky Clown, why do we want the tree to scream so badly? Well, first of all, Indo, thank you for sending a star to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. Let me mark that down as they're a 3-star team. And now, who said that? Wacky Clown. It's because, I don't know if you know this, but it's scientific fact that plants, flowers, trees, all of them, when you damage them, they do scream. In real life science, not a joke. It's at frequencies we can't hear. There are chemical reactions. Trees scream in pain when injured. All of them. Except SCP-4521. The only one that does not scream in any way. In fact, it emits an ear-piercing silence that enrages everyone who goes near it. And furthermore, it has a healing factor. Like Wolverine from the X-Men. For some reason, the tree can heal damage. This is a fucked up tree. And it will scream again. Intern Torres, thank you for donating again to say, hey Doc, what is your stance on giving D-class amnestics at the end of their term and making them forget they served it? Essentially making them serve their term forever and never giving them the pardon if they survive. Well, that's just called recycling, Intern Torres. That's just good resource management. As long as the D-class is not injured or going to have some sort of runoff anomaly that'll interfere with another test, that's just recycling. It's good resource management. Have you tried burning SCP-4521? Intern Thomas, of course we have tried burning SCP-4521. In fact, if you read the SCP-4521 document, you will see an abbreviated list of tests that we tried on it. For some reason, we decided that using a hot brand to brand it with the word slave would make it scream. I actually don't remember the logic of why we did that, but we did. Intern Flyerfly Lily, thank you for sending a flower to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they found it very pretty. How would an interaction between SCP Shy Guy and the SCP the Faceless Girl go? Intern Rainbow Dragons, if you're speaking of the... Which Faceless Girl are you talking about? Can you be more specific? I'm going to try to look this up. Because if it's the girl with stars in her eyes, then because that anomaly is completely blind, would not be able to activate 096. But I don't know what you mean by faceless girl. Has everyone been recontained after the situation with the Knicks? Yes, thankfully. I don't know why the Overseers found it fit to release all the SCPs, SCP-5000 style, if the Knicks won. But we have recontained everything at great cost. Yeah, but I can't have a new terminal budget. Intern Bell, thank you for sending 3 stars to the Containment Hazard Assessment Team. They have gained a prestige rank and are now a 1-star team again. Wait, what's the strongest SCP they've caught anyway? Intern 4 of. The strongest SCP is SCP-6101. If you read its description, the first line clearly says SCP-6101 is the most powerful SCP. Doesn't get clearer than that. Intern Lex Goalie, thank you for sending 6 stars to the Containment Hazard Assessment Team. They've gained another prestige rank and are now a 2-star team. They're on their way. What SCP created the acid that actually harmed 682? Intern EXP, the acid that is currently SCP-682's acid bath is not anomalous from any SCP. It is just simple acid. Do you think you could throw hands with Clef and win? Intern Haruhi, not a chance in hell. Before I even had a chance to land a strong dance boy kick, Clef would have hit me upside the head with a ukulele. If you read today's Pride Month feature, which is called Here's a Beer, Now Show Me, it's about how Clef had a nightmare while staying over at Dr. Kondraki's place, and reality bent the entirety of Kondraki's apartment. Clef is cracked. Broken. I do not want to fight Clef. Intern Bell, thank you for sending a doubloon to the Containment Hazard Assessment Team. I'm sure they will spend their doubloon wisely. Are any of the SCPs gay? Intern Itsuki, yes, there are many SCPs that are LGBTQIA+. Siren Stargazer, thank you for donating again to say. Terminal budget wish granted. Also, Zor offered to break into the vaults if necessary. I told him no, at least not yet. Don't break into anything. We are a secure facility. Breaking is the problem that we are trying to solve. Are you aware of the existence of the Department of Situational Awareness? Gamers Against Weed, I have not heard of this department. Is this department legitimate? SCP Department of Situational Awareness. No. Apparently, this is a not SCP thing you're talking about. Gamers Against Weed, are you talking about this thing created by Sodacall? Welcome to the Department of Situational Awareness Wiki. Fictional universe created by Bodacious Skeleton, 3D animator, content creator. Backrooms. So it's a backrooms group of some sort. See, I've never heard of this, no. Is it true that there is a gender swap plague doctor? Intern Itsuki, what's true is that SCP-049 likes to utilize the gender switching stone SCP-113 from time to time, for purposes I do not quite understand, because it keeps switching back and forth and back and forth. Usually in its femme-presenting mode, it decides to do TikTok dances in my office to annoy me with loud music and dancing. Ace of Luck, thank you for donating again to say. I'm sorry for reading up SCP-72. Oh, I understand. No more SCP. I will use SCP-2719, codename Inside, to put you inside of that abomination. Then we'll see how funny you think repeating its name over and over again is. Desk. Chesta Factory is asking about the Fan Art Friday rules. Intern Siren, thank you for donating. I agree with 049. Consistency is overrated. Firefly Lily, yes, we do have a Discord for Site 42. You have to be 18 or older to join because of the SCP's consistent adult content. Furthermore, you need to be smart enough to find it. Now, we do give a hint at the end of every stream, which will end within the next hour, but how long we don't know. But you have to find it. It's an Easter egg hunt. We want to see if you're clever enough to find it. Dr. Sumerian, good to see you over visiting Site 42. Welcome. Welcome, Sim. I felt a disturbance in the force. No disturbances here that I know about. I don't know what you're talking about, and I'm worried if the liaison from the ethics committee is sensing disturbances in the force. That was not us. We lost visual. I guess we're going through some severe lag right now. All right, but I'm keeping an eye on you. Huh, good to know, Sim. Did I hear that you got in a fist fight with the Grinch, by the way? I saw someone in chat mention that earlier. I'm wondering if you have any intel on that. In the meantime, Ace of Luck, thank you for donating again to say, brother, I'm a Chaos King with no self-preservation, do your worst. Oh, trust me, I will. Wait, what? Yeah, Dr. Frogman, someone said that, Dr. Sumerian got in a fist fight with the Grinch. Or at least that's who I think they were talking about. Maybe they were talking about Clef? $100. Thank you for sending sparkles to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they will enjoy cleaning up yet another glitter bomb. I would hardly call it a fist fight. It was a wrestling match. Oh, was it like sanctioned? Was this a purposeful thing with rules and engagement and a ring? And yes, as Dr. Frogman said, who won? Intern Siren, thank you for donating again to say, Zor says you're not good at lying. You might want to work on that. Also, if the cams pick up Zor, he's a Zeddy, if the staff are curious. Well, yes, in fact, I do not tend to fib. I am quite an honest person. To a fault, actually. It gets me in trouble when I say my opinions and people find it to be a little too blunt. But, regardless, I guess we'll see if we see it on cams. Intern Smile, thank you for sending a turn it up to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they enjoyed the sick beats that cat was dropping. How did you contain SCP-2317-K? Intern Itsky, you should read SCP-2317-J to see how we contained SCP-2317-K. We read it in full a couple days ago on stream, but suffice it to say, it can't fit through the door. The fight was sanctioned. The Grinch's heart gave out and he had to be medevaced. Oh my. Well, I mean, if this was before the Grinch's heart grew 3 sizes, then yes. No, after. I guess small heart or big heart are both medical issues. But, growing 3 sizes gave it extra strength. Therefore, I would assume small-heartedness would have caused it to have the issues, right? How do we think this heart thing involved the Grinch there? Turns out his heart was both too small and too large at the same time. That's where I was getting messed up, Sim. Thank you for clarifying. Intern Steve11, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. How does one get a promotion from intern to researcher? That is the purview intern proxy of channel memberships. The white names in the chat are all our interns. But if you graduate to a green name, then not only do you get to skip slow mode, you are immune to slow mode, and so as long as you don't spam, the desk doesn't leave you alone, or the desk leaves you alone, and you get the channel emojis. You also get to be a level 1 researcher, a mobile task force captain, or overseer, depending on the level of your membership. What would happen if you placed a turducken in SCP-914? Intern Gamers Against Weed. I wonder if turducken did ever show up in the SCP-914 logs. I know my first idea is that if you put it in 1-to-1, it might give you a different list of animals stuck inside each other. Like maybe you get a Cornish game hen inside a pig inside a cow. Or something like that. Show results with turducken. Nope, does not show up. Does turducken show up anywhere on the SCP wiki? Search function turducken. The word turducken shows up 103 times on the SCP database. Some notable quotes. Who is a full turducken of secrets. Okay. Breath stinks like a turducken of rotting meat inside. Oof. Am I right? It was a turducken. All right, so mild mentions of turducken on the SCP database. Came down off the top rope on his neck, which wasn't hard. Dude was like 10% neck. Yeah, definitely has a little bit of giraffeitis going on. Man, off the top rope. Well, bam! Was it an elbow drop or did you get a leg drop on the throat? Intern Manila, thank you for sending a happy poop to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they'll enjoy that for some reason. Intern Hernandez, welcome to the newly minted rank of Mobile Task Force Captainship. Captain Hernandez, we appreciate your newly minted membership and service. Both. I climbed back up for another go. The mad lad, Dr. Sumerian. Boom! With the elbow. Boom! With the leg. Wait, I just noticed Abel on the shirt. Yeah, this is the I see no gender only victim shirt for our non-binary asexual royalty SCP-076-2, codename Abel. Available at the Site 42 merch shelf on YouTube. Stickers and shirts, etc. I'm not making Sims sound like Ben Shapiro. Okay? I'm just getting a little higher pitch to make it different than my voice. It's not nearly as annoying as old Benny Boy. Do not. Do not. No. Intern Siren, thank you for donating again to say, the Digital Circus is proud to present the altered twin of the indestructible reptile, still indestructible but kind and dormant. Oh, they have a nice lizard. Good luck with that. Their absolute power corrupts absolutely. That lizard lives long enough, it's going to be very annoyed and grumpy. Hold on, hit me with your Sumerian. So, my Sumerian is just a little bit more pitched up of mine because it's kind of just a polite ethics committee liaison affect. So, Dr. Sumerian's a little bit more up here. And so there can be a bit of a sinister tone if you're doing wrong by the ethics committee. But it's just a little higher in pitch than my standard voice. He always seems with the glasses a little more. It's that pose that gives me that the power's not in the voice. It's not a booming voice. It's a quiet, serious tone. You don't want to fuck with Dr. Sumerian. Okay? Intern Valdez, thank you for sending a laughing disco to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they will bust some comical moves on the dance floor at your urging. Don't fuck Aquafina bottles either. Intern Hunter Mark, I don't know if you've actually read the Bottle Dick stories, but in the third or fourth one, Dr. Gears has to give an entire slideshow presentation to the SCP Foundation staff members of that site to inform them on why it's a bad idea to stick your dick into an Aquafina water bottle. Dr. Charles Ogden Gears had to give a whole slideshow presentation. Oi, I'm just getting into the SCP fandom. Anything I gotta know? Intern Cricket, I'm gonna give you a quick rundown. Number 1, Rule 0 of the SCP Wiki is the same as Rule 0 of the internet. Don't be a dick. Rule 2, the SCP Wiki is where all the stories come from. It is not a fandom wiki, like where people are compiling fan theories and information. The SCP Wiki is the actual stories. Like Fandom Wiki for Marvel movies is fans talking about Marvel movies. The SCP Wiki is the Marvel movies of the SCP fandom. Third, because there's so many stories, don't get caught up on where you got to start. Just dive in and read some things. Click random article. Read some of the user curated lists from the front page that recommend articles based on genre. That's how you get into the community. And ask me questions, because I'm here every day streaming to answer your questions. Oi, thank you, bruv. You're a legend. You helped me with depression. Well, thank you. I'm glad to hear it, Cricket Green. I'm glad you appreciate our work. We're doing our best in these SCP streets. Art and having a good time can be a great way to recharge yourself. Even if sometimes art gets political and you got to deal with the bad in the world, you take heart that there are people who are good out there who will help you with the bad. We work as one. Mobile Task Force Psi 42, codename Signal Boosters, and my Containment Hazard Assessment team. Intern Siren, thank you for donating again to say. Going to torment the OG, dropping off his twin later. First of all, 682 is an it, not a he. Please practice proper pronoun parlance protocols at the Foundation. Secondly, don't do that. It's just gonna start a fight. And so many people are gonna die. You're going to kill people. Don't do that. Question, we consider my OC as an SCP. Well, intern Malikie, I don't know what your OC is, but reminder, to be an SCP, you have to have 3 qualifications. Number 1, be anomalous. Number 2, be on the SCP Wiki. And 3, be on the SCP Wiki as an SCP document. And so your OC probably is not, but offsite non-canon. If you want to have an OC SCP, that's not unheard of on the internet. Have fun. Make art. Play around. How do you keep your hair healthy when you diet so often? Wacky Clown. I diet once every about 9 weeks. And then, actually, the problem I'm having is less than keeping my hair healthy because it's short hair, so it doesn't really get that bad in general. The problem I'm having is that now that I'm back at the Foundation Fitness Initiative, hitting the gym more often and breaking a sweat, I shampoo my hair more often, so the color lifts a lot faster. I'll have to consider not doing any lighter colors from now on because it's already been just 2 weekends, and that light pink is already blonde again. So I'm really going to have to just focus on darker color palettes because I'm now washing my hair a lot more. Who would make their character an SCP? That sounds ridiculous, and definitely no one would ever do that. Oh yes, completely unheard of in the SCP community to make your character an OC SCP, especially, oh my god, what if, and I know this is crazy talk, but what if the author made their OC an avatar of themselves, acting as themselves in the SCP universe? Wouldn't that just be, that would be madness. I can't believe no one's thought of this before. I just took someone else's OCSCP. What does that say about me? That is pretty funny. You did come and just claim that guy's OC. Intern Valdez, thank you for sending those hip rainbow glasses to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. They do sit pretty cunning, especially with the rainbow lab coat. God, right? Imagine if they made that character immortal. I know, Sim, that would be insane. And I mean, especially if I heard of immortal author avatar researchers, I don't know. I'd probably need a lot of nickels, now that I think about it. Probably need a lot of nickels, more than 2 nickels. It's actually not a lot, but it actually has happened more than that. Where does Fan Art Friday happen? Intern Help the Lover, it happens here on Friday streams. Here at this channel, at this stream, but on Fridays. No, we're back to Lindsay Lohan. We did not ask for this. Why is that in there? Who put that there? Oh, wait. This song is called Pattern Recognition by Dr. Sumerian. Oh, it's a reading Billith did of a tale from Sim. Okay, funny that that's on the playlist. I thought it was music. Sheeny, thank you for the dope kaleidoscope glasses. Looking pretty slick. Firefly Lily, Desk will share the Fan Art Friday rules. Check out the Fan Art Friday rules because they also contain the email to send them in. Do you like the LARPing community on YouTube? Intern gamers, I mean, technically speaking, I was the LARPing community on YouTube before they started LARPing. I'm just LARPing my OC from the SCP Foundation, if you want to be accurate. But, like with all projects in art and memes, I say as long as they're not hurting anybody, I'm happy for them to have fun. Intern Siren, thank you for donating again to say, But Doc, I'm literally Chaos Incarnate. You should know this by now. Also, Kane came up with a better idea. We're going to put OG Lizard in the Circus Vault. Well, maybe that'll keep it busy for a while at least. Actually, I approve of that test. Desk, thank you for donating so you could highlight. We both stole someone's OC and made it our own. That is true, to be fair. I mean, my OC was kind of gifted to me on purpose, though, because Dr. Sherman was named Dr. Theron Sherman after my wiki handle because I did some free voice work for the SCP-049 article. So at least mine was kind of created for me. You just ganked that guy's OC. Just whole hog. Hey, I was in fact gifted Clef. Okay, 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 if that's how you want to play it. If you say so. Desk, what if I come on one day and LARP you? Intern gave us against Weed. Are you just going to aim a camera at a desk and then just start talking? Hang a Hawaiian shirt and a straw hat off a desk and just start yapping? Honestly, amazing. You saw nothing. Charlie. Oh, are you going for a walk? That's a very nice harness you got there. You're so wiggly. You're so wiggly. How will I pick you up? Nope. The baby's too excited to go for a walkie. She will not stand still enough for me to pick her up. Ah, just came back. That's why she's so excited. Here is the Zoom Zoom dog. Fidget, 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 fidget. I've been walking. I've gotten my exercise for the day. I also do the Foundation Fitness Initiative. Smart Charlie, strong Charlie, fast Charlie, will not get caught in any containment breaches. Very fashionable harness. It's a good baby. Wow. Dr. Sherman, why do you have a dog on the site premises? Intern Itzky, what kind of protocols do you think you're citing to me? All sites have mascot pets. Josie the half cat is a mascot pet. The iPods are a mascot pet. Don't you talk down to me. You look like a lesbian mom. Well, maybe, but at least a hot one. Remember, just because you're asexual doesn't mean you can't slay. Site 904 has that weird clown guy. Sim, what do you mean weird clown guy? Now I'm terrified. Their mascot, Huckles. I am terrified to find out what Huckles the Clown is. I have not heard of Huckles the Clown. Is this an actual thing? Oh, I Google and I fear. Yes, Agent Charlemagne, I do hear you. So does the chat. Do you want to come say hello? No, I'll come halfway and then stop. SCP-4671 is, Clarky the Clown. Clarky the Clown is SCP-4671, a sapient humanoid entity with the appearance of a generic clown. Not to be confused with Captain Clark. Where do I find the SCP Wiki? Website name. Intern Itsuki. You are looking for scpwiki.wikidot.com. If you type into Google SCP Wiki, and you avoid the fandom wiki, of course, it should say main SCP Foundation. Intern King, welcome to Site42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Dr. Sherman, where can I buy SCP jewelry? Wacky Clown, the closest thing I think you're going to get is from our buddy Toad King Studios on Etsy, who has a lot of SCP Foundation pins and buttons. Intern Siren, thank you for donating again to say, Lizard is in Vault now. Zor found 079 accessing Cloud. Shut down 079's access quickly before things get fuzzy. Who is LARP Site 42? We can't have a LARP Site 42 yet. I don't think we're established enough to have a LARP. Do we have a LARP? Also, what would the LARP name be of a Dr. Sherman LARPer? Dr. Larpin Sherman? Dr. Thayer LARP Sherman? Dr. Theron Larpman? Or Dr. Theron Sherlarp? Where do you put the LARP in the name is the question. Dr. Larpman fits best. That is true Weather Voyage, but also comes off a little generic. You're getting, it's Larpman. That could be LARP of anybody. Intern, I'm trans, deal with it. Welcome to Level 1 Researchership here at Site 42. We will deal with it because the SCP Foundation is an LGBTQIA plus inclusive place. So welcome. And thank you for your newly minted membership. Dr. Sherman, this is Froy. I turned one of my side accounts into this. Oh. Froy, what have you done? I fear what could come of this. Hopefully it's entertaining. You're getting laggy again, video quality. I can't help the video quality lag situation. That's not a, the pixelization is not something I can fix. That's the internet. I wonder if it has something to do with Spotify being down where a bunch of internet things are going wrong. That is not something I can fix in particular. Is anyone else having trouble with Spotify, by the way? Or is it just me? 'Cause- 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 'C Oh no. Oh no. The 4 Sherman pixels. Dear Lord. So until told otherwise, Agent Goose and I can confirm that for a $1,000 dono, Dr. Sherman will do a full week of streams in a fluffy bathrobe and slippers. If it's a Ko-Fi donation. You know, I don't disagree. If some brave soul gave us that much of a donation, I would stream in a lab coat and slippers for a week, I guess. If that's what they wanted in return, then sure. Let's see if doing that thing that fixes the audio sync does anything to the pixels. All right, did the pixels returned? It looks like the pixels have returned. We have regained our pixels. Intern Valdez, thank you for sending a flow state to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I am certain they will lock in despite the craziness of the internet issues that are plaguing us today. What in the absolute tarnation? 100 stars. Thank you for sending a 100 to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I am sure they will keep it 100. Intern Trans, so cute. Oh, stop. No, continue. No, stop. Oh, go on. Intern Valdez, thank you for sending a crisp high five to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they will return it with gusto. Intern Yusavar, thank you for your 2 months as a level 1 researcher here at Site 42. We appreciate your membership and your service. Would you rather kill or double every SCP? On one hand, I'd be out of a job. If we killed every SCP, if we destroyed every anomalous object, entity, and place, then I would not have anything to research. But on the other hand, doubling everything would lead to, well, we are doing what we do right now, so if we just doubled our efforts, finances, other resources, staffing, I think we can get a better future by researching more anomalies than we can by destroying all anomalies. Because we've done some great research and gotten some good non-anomalous things that, we've used anomalies to research non-anomalous things. So, I think I'd rather double the anomalies than take the extra work. I didn't think I'd scroll down to this live. Nice one to stumble across. Well, intern, so welcome to our daily anomalous broadcast from Site 42. I'm glad you can make it to today's briefing. Wait, shit, I just remembered I'm an SCP. Never mind. Oh no! Oh no, 2 Dr. Sumerians. Oh no, what have I done? Now they'll have to fight to death in the ring. Hey, double amount of those miracle medicines. I forget the number, but the one we have limited numbers of. Ah, yes, the SCP-500s. If they even duplicated it right. I mean, everything we've done to duplicate them has lowered their efficacy. So it's possible that if we did this, we wouldn't even get more of those. Nah, we'd be a tag team champion. Okay, I get it. That works. My question Sumerian, is what do you wear in the ring? Do you wrestle in your suit? Or do you have a singlet? What's your ring uniform? And Site 42 fan artists, I hope you're listening. All right, yellow suit in the ring. There we go. Dr. Sumerian wrestles in the yellow suit. By the way, Site 42 staff, we are currently 20 minutes from the end of stream. 20 minutes from the end of stream. And as a reminder, the poll is still open. As a reminder of the stream subject that we are discussing over the next couple of weeks as it dawns upon us, there is a convention called OpenSauce. It is a 2-day convention for civilians, 3 days if you pay for the extra industry ticket or the triple extra ticket for VIPs. Then you can go 3 days and there's more behind the scenes stuff depending on your level. But the trick of it is a convention for tech YouTubers. Mark Rober type stuff, building things, sciencey stuff, tech stuff, mechanical stuff. There are, however, going to be creators from other fandoms and groupings there. Several streamers. H Bomber Guy is going to be there. Aaron from Game Grumps is going to be there. Corridor Crew is going to be there. So we are discussing in the chat, in the poll, what I should do since this convention is literally a block down the street from my work. I live in town. So I could go to this convention, but we have to decide how much work I'm going to miss because I work Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays at my day job. And therefore, we have to decide, do I spend all of this money and miss work? It's a rare shot. And many people have already started donating to the cause, which means at the very least I'm going to go to the 2-day tier, probably skip 1 day of work so I can go Thursday night and Friday. But that is an $835 ticket, and I'd be missing a day of work. So I will be the SCP Foundation's representative at this convention, but anything you guys can throw in to help me get tickets and cover the cost of this, I would appreciate it. Because if I can network myself the right way with the different creators, we're hoping we can make some professional connections for both Site 42 as well as the greater SCP Foundation. If Corridor Crew got into SCP and they realize, oh, we could use these Creative Commons monsters in our little short film things that we do, that would get us some pretty good stuff, especially because Corridor Crew has a link to Markiplier. We'd be 1 degree closer to getting a containment breach with Markiplier made. So yes, it's very expensive, but no risk, no reward. And a lot of people are saying, all right, we should try this. And so I'm definitely at the hest of the donations that have already come in before I even said yes. I guess we're on the mode for at least the beginner day, but we got to help out the best we can. So I appreciate in advance any donations you can give to help me make this happen. I'm going to miss some work. If we get enough donations, I'll miss a lot of work because we'll cover that. I thought Make didn't want anything to do with us. Intern Wacky Clown, Markiplier does not hate SCP. Markiplier just took the wrong message from the video that the Keter Labs crew made. And I am certain that if we chit-chat, maybe Markiplier would want to work in an SCP film. As a guest, not to make a movie, remember. Just as a cameo, for funsies, for a community that appreciates him. My low support student ass cannot deal with hearing those numbers, Lamau. Yeah, Just Pit. It's $200 for the normal ticket for 2 days, $835 for the 3-day industry ticket, and $1,500 something for the VIP pass with all the behind-the-scenes meets and greets. And so, of course, the more you pay, the more likely you're getting FaceTime with the people, making it easier to successfully network. But it costs a lot of money to network. It's a rich people's game, and we are not rich people. We are an arts community of starving artists. But if we can band together as a community and send me there, I'll do my best on all of our behalf. Mobile Task Force Psi-42, codename Signal Boosters. How on earth is the average person meant to afford that? They're not. No, it's venture capitalism. It's frickin' rich people get opportunities that the poors don't. That's what this is. I think an SCP film is going to have the best success if they get involved with the community before they start work. I do agree, Dr. Sumerian. One point of order for my SCP filmmaking group, my ideas here, as I've been planning this over years, is that I want something to grow organically through smaller projects at first. Everyone who comes in tries to do a big thing, and a big project requires a big buy-in. And if you don't have a big background with a big fandom in the first place, then you're not going to get the support you need. First timers don't get that kind of group. You need a fan relationship. You need proof that you are good enough to make this. The best people we have doing this right now is Evan Royalties Group. The new, what are they called? Altavision Studios. With their new SCP Red Meridian or Blood Meridian, whatever it's called. They got the new short funded. Now, they did fail their first attempt at a big project, and that blows. So we need enough to figure out something homegrown. My little SCP shorts where I'm doing clips of an SCP show that doesn't exist but could exist is my kind of version of doing that for now until I can grow to bigger budgets and a cast and stuff like that. The most successful creative piece of media on YouTube wasn't live action, it was animated. Say what you want about confinement, it was very popular. I think that's the way forward. That gives you so much more room to work. Indeed, it does, Sumerian. Now, a one-person crew has a lot of pain going through the confinement/animation process. By the way, hello, Wacky Clown, and your confinement reboot. I hope it's going well. But animation does free you to do all the crazy special effects stuff that live action require more budget and more suspension of disbelief to film properly. So animation is the easiest project, both for confinement and for SOM Studios' SCP Galleonic. It gives you a lot more freedom with the back-end hard work of actually doing animation. So you are right that animation is a great way to go if you've got the people with the skills for it. Real quick, Siren, thank you for donating again to say. Froy, chaos is upon you. I'm sending Kane your way. Good luck, Froy. Why is there a LARPing Desk of Alto Clef now? How did this even happen? Also, the truth of the matter is that most projects focus on the weird and spectacle and tactical side of things. We need character focus works. I completely agree, Sim. I personally am just not a fan of the tack gear aesthetic. And so, while I appreciate Evan Royalty for pushing SCP film forward in their way, their stuff is also just not the flavor I want to watch in general. I'll support them for the SCP film vibe, but Andrea Joshua Asnikar's SCP-2316 film is more my speed. The character's investigating a thing. It's almost like an episode of a procedural or a supernatural, if you will. So yeah, characters you can buy into, agents who go into the field and investigate things. But I mean agents as in plainclothes, suits and ties, not tack gear agents. They're doing investigations. They're not doing just tack gear and guns. The SCP The Office parody that's been kicking around in so many places but has never actually gotten made. That would be great. Like SCP The Offshoot was doing, an office comedy. I wonder if the SCPs will ever come back. Intern Valdez, thank you for sending 5 press Fs. I'm sure the chat will pay respect 5 times as hard. Periscopical, thank you for Happy Pride. Happy Pride to everybody. The SCP Foundation supports you. And Site 42 supports you. As you can tell, I got opinions on this topic. DSim, I don't know why I called you by your user handle there, your YouTube handle. Sumerian, yeah. I value your opinions on the space of the SCP Filmic crew, to be sure. You've been around the block with SCP. You know the roads. You as even more than I have seen what has come and gone. Intern Slothy Goated. What's up, yo, to you too? I don't recognize your channel, but welcome to stream. Seems to be a gaming channel. That's not objectionable as far as I know. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to the SCP Foundation, where everything creepy on the internet ends up accidentally being called an SCP even though it isn't. But we do our best regardless. Siren, thank you for donating again to say. Froy started chaos. I don't approve of. I'm sending Kane. The LARP users are multiplying, new virus detected. Oh yeah, we are getting a lot more LARPs now. Yes. I agree with Desk in the chat, by the way. Anybody playing a LARP account of us, that's fine on its own, but please do not moderate chat or do anything that breaks a rule. Periscopical, thank you for sending 2 sparkles to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they enjoy cleaning up 2 more glitter bombs right at the end of stream. Huh. Okay, so we're 8 minutes to the end of stream. And also, I forgot to pick a credit song. And so I'm going to give you guys the opportunity. I don't really have a theme in mind. Usually I pick the credit song based on the stream subject. I have a little theming in mind. Today I don't. So if you have an idea for a credit song and I know it, first song that I know in the chat that I can sing goes. Plum. Seven Nation Army. Haven't sang that on chat. Yeah, okay, Seven Nation Army wins. Thank you, Plum. First dips. Sorry to everyone who did not get first dips. Firefly Lily, thank you for sending sparkles. I'm sure the chat enjoys yet another glitter bomb. Periscopical and Colson, thank you for sending 2 stars to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. They are now a 4-star ranked chat. They are 1 star away from 5 stars with 7 minutes left in stream. Colson and Periscopical, thank you both for sending floating hearts to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they feel the love. Time check, Intern Thomas. We are currently 6 minutes from the end of stream. Oh, serious business. I'm right now at Summer Academy, and I'm going to have to go back to my transphobic family and being misgendered. Do you have any advice? Intern Periscopical, I will have you know that while I am an adult and authority figure in the SCP Foundation to a point, I am not a counselor of any sort. Since you are at Summer Academy, Is there a counselor or adult you can speak of on this matter for comfort and advice? Someone you can speak to more in depth, because this is kind of a serious topic that would be hard to discuss with a streamer, because there's the issues of coming out in a dangerous situation where there are some people who have to stay under wraps until they are able to get out from under their families and be free. That's the kind of things you want to, on a case-by-case basis, talk with someone who you can fill in on the full situation and make sure whatever you do at the end of the day, you are kept safe as you can be in the process. Firefly Lily, thank you for sending another star to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. You have made them a 5-star chat right before the end of stream. Good work, chat. 5-star rating. Intern Colson, thank you for sending 3 doubloons to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I am sure they will spend them wisely. Oh, and 2 more doubloons. You're now, you're raining doubloons on them. We'll see how many doubloons it is at the final here. Having issues and always being told get a counselor is the most tiring experience I've had for the past 2 decades. Well, intern Shackelford, at least from a YouTube content creator's perspective, there's only so much advice I can give because I am not licensed or registered in any way. I'm just a normal guy saying normal guy things. But at least in the case of periscopical, that is pretty good advice for there's probably counselors at camp or the academy, and they can talk to somebody. Now, I'm not just saying, oh, you have issues, go see a therapist. That's a little dismissive, especially when therapists and therapy can be rather expensive with our terrible healthcare system. But hopefully you find someone you can talk to about your things, even if it's not a counselor. Maybe it's just a friend who knows you and can help you make up a plan of attack that gets things to not be bad for you. Not to mention, that's an extremely long conversation. Even if you qualified, you need to spend hours figuring out the context to give good advice. That's true, Dr. Sumerian. It's one of those things where you got to watch out how you interact with people in general. A content creator is here, first and foremost, for entertaining a group of people like you all. So when it comes to like very serious issues, unless I were a content creator focused on therapy and social stuff like that, uh, sharing that kind of stuff is just not going to get you the response you really want. It's hard, but you got to find the right person to reach out to in order to get the help you need. It's terrible. You feel like you want to scream out into the void. And trust me, I felt that. But you do have to target your search for aid if you want to get aid. You can't buy clothes at the soup store. You got to go to the soup store for soup. That's the kind of situation you get into here. All right, where did that go earlier? Intern Tudor, thank you for sending 17 doubloons to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they will spend them wisely. Fire Lily, thank you for sending 8 doubloons to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they are jingling in their pockets right now. 369 Destroyer, thank you for sending 1 star to the Containment Hazard Assessment team to make them a 1-star chat with a prestige rank right at the end of stream, with 1.5 minutes left to get back to 5 stars. I mean, you can buy clothes at the soup store, but they'll be very bad clothes. Yeah, unless you're an Andy Warhol fan. Then the clothes you get at the soup store are probably fire. Intern Tootle, Intern Scotty, and Intern Pirates. Welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. How do you guys contain things such as SCP-3008? Intern Itsky, you should really read the containment procedures for the anomalies on the SCP database. They include our containment procedures. That's what the first section, Special Containment Procedures, is about. Now, for 3008, it's within the door to this IKEA that we have condemned and locked off so people can't go in. So, We just keep the door closed and guard it. It's pretty easy, actually. Sleepless Dragon, thank you for sending 2 stars. Fire Lily, thank you for sending 6 stars. I don't know, and 369, thank you for sending 2 stars more. So 2 plus 6 plus 2 is 10, meaning 2 prestige ranks, and yet again a 1-star team. It came out nice and even. You talking about Poor Richard? Yes, Dr. Sumerian. Benjamin Franklin's magical wish-granting penis is a very popular anomaly to speak about at Site 42, unfortunately. We really need to get that thing back. I don't know, and Periscopical, thank you for sending a total of 6 stars, bringing them to a 2-star team with another prestige rank. A 2-star team going into the stream outro. Help the lover, huh? Excuse me? Okay, guys. I was going to end stream, but especially since we have Dr. Sumerian here specifically, you'll have the opportunity to ask your questions after I introduce you to SCP-3313. Codename Poor Richard, but we all know it colloquially as Benjamin Franklin's magical wish-granting penis. SCP-3313 is the severed penis of Benjamin Franklin, hereby referred to as SCP-3313-1. Despite having no biological support system, the penis appears resistant to both damage and decay. When in physical contact with any individual, the anomalous penis provides that individual with reality-altering capabilities roughly analogous to that of a Class II reality-altering entity. Benjamin Franklin's magical wish-granting penis gives you reality-bending powers, as long as you're touching it. So, how badly do you want reality-bending powers? Do you want reality-bending powers enough to touch Benjamin Franklin's magical wish-granting penis? Now, suffice it to say, we don't actually have this anomaly anymore because the Chaos Insurgency tried to resurrect several founding fathers, including George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, John Adams, Alexander Hamilton, and SCP-3313-1, aka Ben Franklin. All of these anomalies had their own anomalous abilities, I believe. But they raided, Ben Franklin escaped, raided the Foundation site containing his magical wish-granting penis, and then held it to the sky, and Team Rocket blasted off through the ceiling, never to be seen by us again. Whoa, this got weird. Who would create something like that? Yeah, Dr. Sumerian. Who would write something like that? Smells like someone passing the buck. Periscopical, thank you for sending 15 stars to the Containment Hazard Assessment Team. You have granted them 3 more prestige ranks. And then you sent them 2 more stars, bringing them to a 4-star team. All right, Site 42 staff. We have now made it to the end of stream. And as I do at the end of every stream, I tell you guys my favorite SCPs. Of course, I'm not going to tell you My favorite SCPs are the ones I personally wrote. That would be sheer narcissism. But if you want to read the SCPs that I personally wrote, you can go to the Sherm's author page in Site42 Hub on the SCP database. If you want to read Dr. Sumerian's author articles, including Benjamin Franklin's Magical Wish-Granting Penis, or Fuck Off Carl, you can go to Dr. Sumerian's SCP author page. If you want to go see Desk's SCP articles, he only has two. He doesn't have an author page yet, but they're SCP-2303 and SCP number 1 Doggo-J. So you can enjoy those two articles. And also, while you are on my author page, you might find a list of links on there. A list of links that lots of people talk about. They ask about in chat. They ask for hints on where those links are. But then when we get to the end of stream, they just aren't clever enough to find them. It's so sad for them. Just not smart enough in the brain pan. But you guys, my Containment Hazard Assessment Team, you're hella clever. I know you will find those links. You will find those links. You'll have the options, along with those links, to become a Site42 Patreon patron or YouTube channel member to donate to us monthly, or do a Ko-Fi donation or YouTube Super Chat to donate to us one at a time. Either way, when you directly donate to Site42, you are helping me to spend the time to do these daily streams, make my videos. You're supporting myself and the Site42 staff. As well, you're helping out with some of the crazy projects we get into, like trying to get me to go to this YouTuber convention, to hobnob, and represent the SCP Foundation in the YouTube space to try and get more people into it. Could be fun, maybe. I don't know. Could be nothing. But we don't find out if we don't try. And so we thank you for your generosity, helping us out with that. And if you're part of the broke gang and you cannot donate, do not fret. We are an arts community after all. And arts communities understand starving artists. Yeesh, do we? But you starving artists can still help us out by donating your time and effort as a member of Mobile Task Force Psi-42, codenamed the Signal Boosters. When you like, share, subscribe, comment, chat, make fan art, memes, clips, edits out of context compilations. You can spread our signal at Site42 as well as the greater SCP projects we support. The SCP Wiki and the SCP authors and artists. The SCP filmmakers, game devs, animators, merch makers, podcasters, etc. You are helping us to make the SCP community bigger so we can get better films and games, one way or another. And we thank you for your service. Now, without further ado, my favorite SCPs in no particular order are SCP-3999, SCP-3043, SCP-008-J, SCP-Spooky-J, SCP-5031, SCP-5175, SCP-5320, and SCP-8980. Content warning on that last one, it is a heckin' rough read. Speed round. 3999-3043-008-J, content warning, that's a rough read. So, Site42 staff, there's been another Dr. Sherman's Office Hours, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast from Site42. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something. Be safe, be well, and as always, secure, contain, protect. I'll see you in the next video or stream. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 ba-da-doom. Boom, 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 ba-da-doom. I'm gonna fight 'em off. Boom, boom, boom. Seven Nation Army couldn't hold me back. I'm gonna rip it off. Taking their time right behind my back. And I'm talking to myself at night because I can't forget. Dum-dum-dum-dum-dum. Back and forth through my mind behind a cigarette. Bum 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 bum. And the message coming from my eyes says, leave it alone. Dum 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 dum. Dum 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 dum. The credit song is Seven Nation Army by the White Stripes. Be safe, be well, Site42 staff, and as always, secure, contain, protect. I'll see you in the next video or stream.